Hello, and welcome to Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development's class today on what is your netiquette? Like, what do you mean, Stacey? What's netiquette? What we're referring to today is how to successfully complete video conferencing, Zoom calls, maybe even an interview via video. Because let's face it, right now, this is exactly how we're communicating. So how can you do that effectively, and how can you maintain your professional image while doing so? So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Stacey Biddle. I am a career facilitator here in the Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development Department, and we are here to talk about your video conferencing strategies. With us today is Victor. He will be monitoring our chat. So please go ahead and feel free to drop a question, anything, a comment, and he will get right back to you. So let's begin. I am going to share my screen and pull up our presentation today about what is your netiquette. There it is. All right. Tips and strategies for video conferencing brought to you by Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development Department. Again, my name is Stacey, and I thank you for being with us today. All right, so with this new era of video conferencing and online meetings, many have found that there are a new set of guidelines to follow, and man, we are trying to adjust the best we can. Working from home is difficult. It is hard. You have distractions. You might have kids. You might have pets. I have a cat right here looking at me funny. How do we handle all of these things? Here are some tips and strategies that will help you conquer those video conferences, online meetings, and to help you stay productive, connected, and maintain your professional image. So let's first talk about sound. All right, so you're about to enter a meeting. Make sure you mute that microphone. It is a common courtesy to do so. Do that right when you enter that meeting and keep that background voice to a minimum, making sure that your mute is on, mute microphone when you are not speaking as well. Be mindful of your background noise. When your microphone is not muted, it will pick up things. It might pick up cars driving by. If you're lucky like me, you have construction going on right outside your window, and that will be portrayed right there by your microphone in your meeting. You know, try not to shuffle papers or anything like that. Just definitely be mindful because that will be broadcast if your microphone is on. Well, how do you look? Try to position your camera properly. If you're choosing to use your web camera, be sure that is in a stable position and focused at eye level as possible. So like, for example, I'm working for a laptop. I'm actually have my laptop stacked on 2 puzzle boxes so that it can go, a little higher. And you can see me at eye level. My Alexa just went off. So I don't know if you heard that. Let's talk about background noise. I'm going to have to turn that off next time. That was funny. So doing so creates a more direct set of engagement. So you're looking at the camera. You're trying not to look at yourself if that is an option. So that it looks like that you're looking right at them and engaging them in conversation, just as you would if you were talking to them face to face. More light is better. Video quality is dramatically improved with more lighting. Having an extra lamp in front of you is usually helpful. Natural light is best. So for example, I'm sitting in front of a window, allowing that natural light to come in. Those of us who wear glasses, though, sometimes will get that lovely glare from that window. So, that happens, and that's okay. Try maybe to look down a little bit so that glare isn't directly aimed right at your glasses. So make sure also the light is in front of you. If you have a light from behind, you're being backlit, and that tends to shadow out your face. It's really hard for other people to see you. So make sure that it is in front of you and try to make it a natural light. Try again to look into the camera. It again gives you an appearance of looking directly at someone, like you're having a conversation. Avoid looking at yourself, which can be hard to do sometimes because you want to see how you look, and that's, it's understandable, but try to avoid doing that. Stage your video area. Keep in mind that people aren't just seeing you, they're seeing what's behind you. So make sure that, it's clean, it's professional. Also, Microsoft Teams and Zoom, they do have options to have a virtual background that you can put behind you as well. Keep your area clean and professional. Your dress. You know that you've probably seen some oops here and there about dress. Maybe you're sitting in your pajama pants. No one wants to see those Looney Tune pajama pants. So just be mindful. Dress to impress. Use professional dress such as a nice shirt or a dress or a collared shirt and tie. It's always be better to be dressed up rather than dressed down. Definitely limit your distractions. You can make it easier to focus on the meeting by turning off your notifications, closing or minimizing running apps on your computer, or muting your smartphone. For example, I shut down everything. I take my email off, so like I won't get notifications during meetings, and people can tend to hear that. Just shut everything off. Your attention is focused on that meeting that you're in right now. Avoid multitasking. I know this is a hard one to do, but you will retain the discussion better if you refrain from replying to emails or text messages during the meeting and wait to work on any other projects until the meeting ends. This is especially tempting when maybe you are part of a meeting and everyone's video is off. So they're not actually seeing you, but you're still talking. But you can easily be distracted, like check an email when you think no one's looking at you. Just don't avoid it. Check it later. Do other things later. Make sure your attention is focused on the meeting at hand. Prepare your materials in advance. So if you are displaying a PowerPoint, make sure that it is up, it is on the correct slide and ready to go. If you're sharing files, make sure that you have them already accessed, that you can pull them up quickly. Or if you're sharing something on the web, make sure it's already there, and then you can get to it quickly rather than having to search for it and have other people wait. Test run your equipment. Do your own tech support before you start. A lot of the video conferencing apps that we use, they do display, maybe a test shot. Make sure your microphone is working. Make sure that you do a test run and make sure everything works so that you can enter and participate in that meeting flawlessly. All right, so don't eat. Don't eat during the meeting. Even if you're really, really hungry, hold off while you can. Sometimes, it's not very pleasant to watch other people eating or hearing them chew or crunch. And don't do that. It's okay to have a drink. I have a lovely water container. That's fine. Make sure it has a lid, because I've seen some people actually drop and spill something on your computer, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want to have to pay for that expense of fixing a work computer or your own computer if you do that. Okay, communication is key. Try not to speak over others. Wait until others are finished, and then have your turn. You can also use the chat feature in, Zoom has it, Microsoft Teams has it. Post a question. You can use that as well. So let's sum it up. Here's a video on the do's and don'ts of conference calls I think that you will enjoy. Let me pull that up. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and make sure I'm going to reshare to make sure that I have my audio on and that you can hear our video. Okay, let's do this.
A phone call is you talking with one other person. A conference call is you talking on the phone with more than one person. And a video conference is usually a mess.
Okay, so let's talk about video conferencing.
Yeah, we should. Carrie Barrett's a media trainer and communications expert.
Not a day goes by that we're not on at least one video call. And so many of us don't know how to do that properly.
Somebody always looks ridiculous on a video call, and if you don't see them, then it's probably you. But never fear, Carrie's here with some video call do's and don'ts. For starters, remember, they can see you, so protect your professional reputation.
If you would not show up to a conference at your office place in whatever it is you're wearing, don't show up to a Zoom call in whatever it is that you're wearing.
Basically, this is not office attire, but hey, they only see it from here up, right?
So we end up wearing shorts or flip-flops.
And your point is?
When you do that, it's like Murphy's Law. Somebody's going to see you from the waist down for some reason when you forget that you have on pajamas, or maybe not even, and you run to the door and hello, everybody sees, the full Monty.
Do they remember mustard? All right, yeah, cool. Thanks.
You don't want that.
Yeah, that was awkward. Okay, in addition to seeing you, they can hear you too. So remember one of the oldest sayings in TV and radio. Assume that mic is always on.
I can't even tell you how many NSFW things I have heard over the past 2 weeks because people don't realize that we can hear everything that's going on.
So if you can't help muttering about Bobby from sales, look for this little symbol.
That mic button is your best friend. It is also your worst enemy.
Say what now?
If you're in a conference call and there's 20 people and all of them forget to unmute their mic when it's time for them to speak, that ends up chewing up a good 10-15 minutes of meeting time.
So be ready to chime in.
And I actually keep my cursor hovered over it so that I can just click and unclick when I need to.
Finally, turns out everything you needed to know about video calls you learned in kindergarten, namely, wait your turn.
What happens when two people are trying to talk at once? Well, it's not like when you're having a phone call and you can kind of both hear voices at the same time.
With you and one other person, overlapping conversation signals engagement. But with 3 or more people on a conference,
You just cancel each other out. Nobody can hear anything.
you run the risk of this.
Stop.
Annoying, right? So protect your professionalism on video calls. And remember, understanding other people's mistakes is part of being a good teammate, too.
I know it sounds really basic, but we're all kind of getting used to this. Technology is going to be a bit of an issue until we figure it out.
Some do's and don'ts of video calls are at the top of the list.
All right. Well, there you have it. Tips and strategies for video conferencing. I hope that helps you out. It is hard to get used to. It's weird, we're not used to doing this and talking to each other like this, but hey, it's going to happen and it's going to keep on happening in the very near future and beyond. So please, if you need any career advice, or right now we're running some opportunities to resume consultations. If you'd like a career consultant to look over your resume and give you some advice on that. If you want to find out any job or help with job search, if you want to find out about our training opportunities that Goodwill Columbus has, please reach out to us. You can find our contact information on our Facebook page in the About Us section. You can call, you can email, you can send a message. We will respond to you and get you connected to the appropriate career counselor. So definitely reach out to us for your career needs. And thank you so much. I hope this was helpful and gave you a little smile for today as well. Thank you. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. And thank you for joining us. Goodbye.